she gonna stay with it, or
Well, yeah.
for the build for the? Did she tell you she's gonna be in favor of keeping the election for full time?
Oh, yeah.
Did she?
It sounds like it, like the Tony. Rex made.
Okay. Okay. Thanks for allowing Mike to say something. He wanted to say something. He'd already sold his house and was living in an apartment. You know, he's got a kid that's got autism.
Yes, that's exactly. It's a lot easier.
He said it'd be different if the family was up here. He wants to stay here. He says, I just got to get back home and take care of family. We've had some great interviews. We offered a job to somebody. We had some great interviews. He did offer a job to somebody, and he's a young guy, under the age of 40, 35, 36, 37. But he's got some good stuff behind him, so it'll be good.
We don't know yet if he's accepted it. Supposed to be one coming for that seat back there. Is that?
I don't know if they'll ask, but if they do when you're up there, actually do have it.
I haven't heard that he's not, but that doesn't mean he is.
Do you have a call? Do you have a call for it? I can't get my.
Okay.
No, he pulled that with their own shop this morning. We're seeing that the event center ordinance was. Okay.
So it's in ordinance.
Just to get clarification of why.
I'm not really objecting to it.
I think it would be, yeah, I'll check and see what he was talking about. See if we get an answer to your two questions.
The mirror's on. Okay.
Good evening and welcome to the joint meeting with the Lincoln County Commissioners. The meeting will start in 1 minute.
Well, good evening, everybody, and welcome to tonight's meeting. This is the City of Sioux Falls City Council and the Lincoln County Commission. It's a joint meeting, and today is Tuesday, December 18th. We're certainly pleased to have everybody here. We'll start our meeting with a roll call of the Sioux Falls City Council, and then we certainly want to welcome the Lincoln County Commission. City Council, please.
Council members Aguilar.
Here.
Anderson.
Here.
Entenmann.
Here.
Erpenbach.
Here.
Jamison.
Here.
Karski.
Here.
Rolfing.
Here.
Staggers.
Present.
Thank you very much. Everybody's present. Commissioner Dennis Wildryer, or no, I'm sorry, Commissioner David Gillespie. I'm going to turn it over to you.
Yes, on behalf of the Lincoln County Commission, I'll ask Paula to call a roll call for the commission.
David Gillespie.
Here.
Dale Long.
Here.
Dennis Wildryer.
Here.
Jim Schmidt.
Present.
Jason Melcher.
Very good, thank you. We would like to start our meeting with a Pledge of Allegiance. Folks, if you would stand to recite the pledge, we'd appreciate it.
I pledge allegiance to the flag of the United States of America and to the republic for which it stands, one nation, under God, indivisible, with liberty and justice for all.
Well, again, welcome. We'd like to start with approving tonight's agenda. Council, would anybody want to make a motion?
So move, Anderson.
Second, Jamison.
Councilor Anderson Jr. has made a motion to approve our agenda, seconded by Councilor Jamison. If we could have a roll call vote, please.
Council members Aguilar.
Yes.
Anderson.
Yes.
Entenmann.
Yes.
Erpenbach.
Yes.
Jamison.
Yes.
Karski.
Yes.
Rolfing.
Yes.
Staggers.
Yes.
Dennis pass 8-0. Commissioner?
Yes, the county would entertain a motion for the approval of the agenda tonight.
So move, Mr. Chairman. Schmidt. Second. Wildryer.
Okay, second. Paula, would you give us a roll call?
Dale Long.
Yes.
Dennis Wildryer. Yes. Commissioner Schmidt
Yes.
and Gillespie.
Yes.
Thank you very much. We will now move on to item 1.
Item 1 is a second reading, an ordinance of the City of Sioux Falls, South Dakota, amending the Code of Ordinances of said city by rezoning property at the southeast 1/4 of Section 8, Township 100, Range 49, Lincoln County, from the AG Agricultural District to the I-1 Light Industrial District.
Thank you. Deputy Wright, would you want to read it in for the county? Welcome.
Good evening. My name is Ross Wright. I'm a Deputy State's Attorney for Lincoln County. I'll be reading the Lincoln County ordinance this evening. It reads as follows. Entitled, An Ordinance Amending the 2006 Joint Zoning Regulations for Lincoln County and the City of Sioux Falls, LC Ordinance 0601-31, by rezoning certain property located at 26877 South Dakota Highway 11, Sioux Falls, South Dakota, from the A1 Agricultural District to the I1 Light Industrial District, and amending the official zoning map.
Thank you very much, Deputy Attorney Wright. We appreciate that. Jason, did you have any comments you wanted to relay to the Commission and to the Council?
Jason Bieber with the Sioux Falls Planning Office. Just a little background here on the application. This is an application by Charlie Weiss to rezone roughly a 1.95 acre parcel of land from the AG Agricultural District to the I-1 Light Industrial District. This particular property is located along Highway 11 and just southwest of Frankman Motors. The major reason for this rezoning is the owner would like to construct a contractor shop and storage area on the south portion of this property, just south of the existing house and garage. And I would entertain any questions that the elected officials would have for me.
Jason, thank you. Before we do that, this is a second reading, so I did want to offer anybody in the audience an opportunity to engage the Commission or engage the Council. Is there anybody who wanted to do that? Please come forward. Welcome. If you'll just state your name, we'd appreciate that. Thank you.
Hi, I'm Mary Hudson, and this is my husband, Mike.
We live at 26888 South Dakota Highway 11. We are like kitty cornered across from the land. They want to change from ag to like commercial. When we built our home there, we went to Lincoln County and got a building permit. And we were told that we needed to also get a building permit from Sioux Falls or from Minnehaha County. And so we went there and we said, why do we have to have this? And they said, it's to protect you from like a junkyard or other undesirable things in residential areas. And so we did that. And a few years later, we gave an acre of our property to our son. And he also built a home there, which is just kind of behind our house a ways. And he'd be further from this property than we are. And does it show on there? I'm not sure.
Jason, do you know what Mary's talking about? What part of the land it would be?
Son's home. That's right behind us. But the point that I wanted to make is he also had to go to Lincoln County and get a building permit. And then he also had to go to Minnehaha County and get a building permit for supposedly to be protected from this kind of business ventures going close to your residential property. And for that reason, we're against this being changed, because this is our home, it's our son's home. We have 10 acres of land. There may be another one of our children that want to build there. So this is the reason we're against it.
Mary, thank you. Mike, did you have any comments before I turn it over to the council or the commission?
No, Mary's pretty well said everything that I'm thinking too. And like we've lived there quite a few years and had a pretty good relationship with the people around us and things like that. And this thing is going to be sitting out there all by itself. Kind of wondering, is there going to be vandalism out there? Is there going to be security or what? We don't know too much about this venture. Okay. And as far as the security of that place, and if people want to come in and do things at these sites that we've heard has happened in other sites in the city, is that going to be a gated thing? Is it going to be security lights? We don't know. We know nothing about this site.
Thank you very much. And don't leave, folks. We may need you. I am now going to... Is there anybody else in the audience who wanted to speak to this item? Anybody? Please come forward if you'd like to.
Thank you.
You're welcome, Mike.
Doug Brockhouse of Bender Commercial Real Estate here in Sioux Falls, South Dakota. We represent Mr. Clary. Mr. Clary is the elderly gentleman that used to live in the house on the 2-acre piece that we're asking to rezone. Mr. Clary has recently moved into a home on the west side of town. He asked us to put his property on the market and see if we could find somebody to buy the property. When we took a look at the property, we tried to make a determination and look into the future, what might happen in this particular area, and what what would be uses that may come up. We've put up on the screen a picture of the future South Dakota 100 road, and if you take a look at On the very top of that drawing, you'll see a major intersection up there. They're actually working in that intersection right now. The funding was put out for 57th Street and Highway 100 a year or so ago, and they've pretty much completed the work on 57th Street. Basically, what's happened is they're moving South Dakota 100 to the west slightly, and then they're making a large bend. What's going to end up, and this won't happen this year, and it won't happen probably next year. It's going to be a few years in the future, but as you can see, South Dakota 100 will be over to the west of this property. And what's interesting, and it's not shown on, I'm going to have to move this up. Can you do that? Can you move it up always? What's interesting that's going to happen, that's just come down a little bit. Highway 11, as we know it today, just north of Frankman Motors, if you look at this drawing, you'll see that little yellow bulb that's sitting up there. That's actually going to be a cul-de-sac. So Highway 11 that goes in front of Frankman Motors today will be cut off, and there will no longer be a road going north from that location. And it's cut off on the bottom, but the same is true in South Dakota Highway 11 to the south, and it's just off of this drawing. So what's going to, in order to get to Frankman Auto, you'll come down South Dakota 100, the new 100, come down to the intersection that you see on the left-hand side. You'll get off, you'll go east to the next intersection, then you'll turn and go left and go up that diagonal road up to the old Highway 11, then you'll go back north on the cutoff Highway 11. So that the Highway 11 as we know it today that's in front of Frankman Auto is going to be like a local little feeder street or whatever you want to call that little feeder street. So when we took a look at what the remnant was of moving that road over, if you would visualize South Dakota 100 being like Russell Street and Highway 11 being like Westport on the northwest part of Sioux Falls, you got a 4-lane on one side, you got a 2-lane on the other, you have a little triangle there in the middle. And if you take a look at what uses are out in that triangle in the north part of town, you've got Shep's Travel Land up there, you've got an outdoor advertising, a couple hotels, that's what sits in that location. So when we took a look at that, we said, okay, what type of compatible use? And we thought maybe you'll see some light industrial and some other type of uses in that area. And that was the justification of attempting to change the zoning on this piece. Our next step, hopefully after approval tonight, would be to do a conditional use permit, which we've submitted that request. In that conditional use permit, there'll be items that'll be addressed will be security lighting, lights that'll be on all night long, such items as trees and berms and whatever type of aesthetics need to be put around the area, and security and those other things. And those will be addressed within the conditional use permit that will be heard, I believe, about mid-January. So that's where we're at this point. The petitioner, Chuck Weiss, wants to build some, we call them contractor shops for a better word. They're metal buildings that people can do like contractor shops, storage areas, and those type things. And there's plenty of excess land, and eventually there'll be other types of uses on that property too, but that's where we're at today. So, questions?
Doug, just 1 second, please. Folks, anybody else want to address the council and the commission before I turn it over to them? Very good. With that in mind, I will open it up to questions from the commission and the council. Councilor Staggers.
Yes, Doug, Frankman Motors, what is it zoned? I was trying to see on the map previously. It was in red, but I couldn't make it out.
I can't answer that question, but the interesting thing is if you look at the future use map, is that what they call it? The future use map shows it as residential, and I don't know that it's going to quite go to that type of a use, but that's what showed on the future use map, but I don't think we're going to see that. Anyway. I couldn't.
Jason or Mike, would or somebody from the county, would you be able to answer Councilor Staggers' question?
Yeah, I believe Franklin Motors right now is zoned commercial at that location. And then on the 2035 plan at the intersection of 57th and the new Highway 100 is a big regional commercial node that we're showing there, which would encompass Franklin Motors and get pretty close to this property also.
Jason, would you mind trying to outline that? You said that commercial development property. Could you just maybe kind of outline that for the council and the commission?
Yeah, the Franklin Motors property I'll show you on the overhead here. And then this is our 2035 Shape Sioux Falls map, and you can see there on 57th and Highway 100 that little green ball, which is an SR, which is a sub-regional commercial district, which encompasses, you know, quite a ways south on 57th, which should...
Jason, I'm going to ask you to stop. Mike, could you come up and at least put your finger there? I mean, whoever's watching this on TV, they're going to have no idea what's going on here. So if you would just help walk us through it. Jason, go ahead, continue.
Yep, the pointer that Mike's showing on there, that would be the sub-regional commercial future land use at that intersection of 57th and Highway 100. And then Franklin Motors would be at the south portion of that circle, that green circle.
Thank you, Jason. Mr. Cooper?
As long as I'm here, I'll talk. The large red area is the current zoning of Franklin, which is commercial. And then the area to the left that's outlined in red is the proposed rezoning. And the property that we've heard from of the opponents is just to the south of this map. And I can point that out, and I'll go back here.
Thanks, Mike.
Franklin Motors applicant.
That's the Franklin Motors applicant.
This is Franklin Motors, and this is the location of the opponents right here. And this is the proposed rezoning right
here. Councilor Karski.
I think one of the first pictures showed a kind of a site layout, what was going to be on the property. Can you bring that back up one more time, please? Okay, I see it says crushed blacktop on there. Is there going to be a blacktop or some heavy hydraulics running, crushing blacktop here? Or is it just going to be stored there? Give me an idea what kind of activity is going to go on in this site.
This is actually an older site plan. At the first rezoning with the Planning Commission, it was indicated that that would actually have to be paved in front of those storage units according to the zoning ordinance.
Okay, so that's just
so it's
that's just a parking surface there, and those
Correct.
three there, okay.
Would be the contractor shop, or if they were going to use them as a warehouse, kind of similar, but those would have to be paved.
Okay.
And then the house and that existing garage are going to be removed.
And that whole basically north side of that property then would be open for future use, no plans for it at this point, is that?
Correct.
Okay.
Commissioner?
Is there going to be a lot of outside stuff stored outside there, or most of it going to be inside, or what's the plans there?
I think as they were saying that most of it will be stored inside at this time. If it is, anything is stored outside, that would all have to be screened with a screen fence. If some sort of contractor went in there, but I think what they're proposing is more of the indoor storage warehousing kind of thing.
Sir, would you come forward and just introduce yourself, please?
Oh, go ahead. I'm Chuck Weiss. I'm a petitioner. I have one other building. It's at 1109 Enterprise, just on the east edge of Sioux Falls. That is also contractors. And I'm pretty sure the Minnehaha County, as I was told when I built this building, that there was no outside storage allowed, and I don't have any outside, you know, maybe a trailer sitting outside, but nothing. I mean, it's not the whole lot covered with junk cars or trailers or anything. And my plan is the same for this. To the south of that building, This was the original building. Possibly in the future, I'd put one south of there in that area where that 225-foot mark is. And then anything on the, I guess that would be to the east, pardon me. And the north side of that lot, haven't really decided what to do with that yet. Just develop it as things go along.
Thank you, Chuck. Thank you.
Okay.
Mr. Mayor?
Oh, yes, Commissioner Schmidt.
Just a point of clarification. Tonight's joint jurisdiction meeting is not to issue the conditional use permit, not to outline, but to really set as to rezone property from ag to commercial. And if we believe that's in the best interest for that or for that use of that land. And I'm just pointing that out so that we don't get bogged down in trying to figure out fences and setbacks and trees and stuff like that. We're merely rezoning something, and that is to determine whether we in our judgment believe that's in the best use of that particular parcel of property.
Commissioner, thank you. With that in mind, I am going to move this on to Lincoln County. In this meeting, they have to make the first action, if any. So I'm going to pass it over to Commissioner Gillespie.
On behalf of the Vice Chair of Lincoln County Commission, is there any further questions or concerns that the commissioners have?
Yeah, I have one. How did our planning and zoning vote on this?
This was heard at the November 14th Joint Planning Commission, City and Lincoln County, and it was recommended for approval unanimously.
Any further questions? Hearing none, this time the Vice Chair would entertain any action taken on the Commission for a motion.
Mr. Chairman, I would move that we move forward with the rezoning as indicated and approved by our Planning and Zoning Board.
Okay, I have a motion from Commissioner Schmidt. Is there a second to move forward?
Second.
Second by Commissioner Wildryer. Any further discussion? Hearing none, I'll ask Paula Fike to do a roll call vote on behalf of Lincoln County.
Commissioner Long.
Aye.
Commissioner Wildryer.
Aye.
Commissioner Schmidt.
Yes.
And Commissioner Gillespie.
Yeah, aye.
Very good. That is passed 4-0.
4-0.
By the Lincoln County Commission. Thank you. City Council, I don't put it in your hands.
I move that we approve the second reading, Entman.
Second, Karski.
Councilor Enneman has made a motion to approve item number 1, and it was seconded by Councilor Karski. Any discussion? Yes, Councilor Karski.
Just clarification, the esteemed Commissioner Schmidt there said that we're rezoning this from ag to commercial. In reality, for the record, it is to industrial. So,
yeah. Stand corrected, as usual.
Thank you, Councilor Karski. If there's no further discussion, a roll call vote, please.
Council members Aguilar?
Yes.
Anderson?
Yes.
Entman?
Yes.
Erpenbach?
Yes.
Jamison?
Yes.
Karski?
yes.
Rolfing?
Yes.
Staggers?
Yes.
That has passed 8-0. Council, Commission, any further work that you'd like to tackle tonight?
Move to adjourn.
There's been a motion to adjourn.
Second, Entman.
It has been seconded. Thank you very much. All those in favor say aye.
Aye.
Opposed?
On behalf of Lincoln County, we'd like to extend to the City Council a Merry Christmas and a Happy New Year.
And to you. Thank you.
Commissioner Gillespie, thank you. Did you folks adjourn too, officially?
We haven't done that.
Thank you.
The Vice Chair would entertain a motion to adjourn this evening.
Move to adjourn.
Motion from Commissioner Long,
Second, Wildryer.
seconded by Commissioner Wildryer. All those in favor signify by saying aye.
Aye.
Those opposed, same sign. Carried.
Thank you very much. It's been a pleasure to have Lincoln County Commissioners here tonight. Thank you so much. Make it a great evening.